But when the news reporters interviewed him at the end of the game, they go, "How did you hit the lucky shot? What did you do to hit the winning shot?" And he goes, "I'm not the fastest, I'm not the strongest, I'm not the biggest. It's just I was the first one to recognize where the puck was going, and I got there first." And that's what I love about the industry we're in, right? Entrepreneurship. We have to understand where the world is going. We have to make those adjustments in our life to get there and get there first, and that's how we win in life.
100%.
You get left behind,
Survival of the fittest, right?
Survival of the fittest.
If you prepare for something, what was it? It was like, it said something, plan to prepare. That I was like, what? I had a buddy of mine, I was like, what are we doing, right? Like, how do you prepare for this game, right? And he's like, I just plan to prepare. My plan is to prepare, right? And I actively go out there and get myself ready because at some point it becomes muscle memory to throw that hoop or throw that ball or something because I don't even have to think about it.
Right.
Muscle memory, right? So it's the same thing with entrepreneurship. The biggest challenge that some people face is that, about Bitcoin, for example. They're like, well, I didn't know. Yeah. It's not your fault that you didn't know, but it is your fault for not finding out.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. If it's not something that's, in your world and you don't know about it, like I didn't know about crypto till 2020, right? My excuse is that I was 12 years old when Bitcoin came out. You know what I mean? I don't know about nothing,
See, he doesn't want me to talk about my first
car.
Not
age here, dog. Come on, man. But at the same time, you could say that it was my fault. Yeah. Because rather than wasting time on YouTube or Minecraft or whatever to a certain level, even though I was 12, I see myself as it was my fault. I could have learned about this. I could have simply said, what are some of the ways, where can I invest my money? On Googled it, what are some of the ways to make money? I never did that till I was probably 16 years old.
Right, no, of course. And it's honestly not your fault. My biggest thing is the T in timing is more important than the T in talent. Think about that. Because it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have, how much experience you have. You're at the right place at the right time and you take massive action, that's how you win. Because you could be at the right place at the right time, but if you don't acknowledge it. For example, you guys are two strangers, you're walking down the sidewalk, there's a piece of gold on the floor. Who's going to pick it up first? The first person that acts, right? So that person, you guys were there at the right place at the right time. There's only one person that took action. And the same thing in life. Everybody around us have the same opportunity. Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. It's about taking action when you recognize that and running with it and capitalizing on it.
What are some of the ways that you're able to save time right now in this world? Because especially with you, what you're doing, running the trucking company, having your cryptos, and your portfolio aside, you help people learn more about crypto and doing all these things. What are some of the ways that you're doing in order for you to be able to save on time right now?
Yeah, time is very, very important. I think it's one of the most important commodities in our life, right? Because you can always make more money, you can't get back more time. And being a father of two little ones, obviously attending time for my wife, making time for car meets, right? The balance of life. Then you got your businesses. The key to business and having time to be able to do it is leverage, right? So it's about putting teams together. It's about putting systems together. And the more automated, the better. Now, I'm not saying it's hands off because I'm the type where it's like, I got to know what's going on. Like, I got to make sure if there's a Zoom, my team is on that call with my client, right? If there's a certain meeting that, that's going on or like some sort of a mastermind class, got to make sure someone is there to take care of that. So at the end of the day, it's all about leverage because there's two types of people in this world. You're either being leveraged by someone else or you find a way to leverage other people's time, talent, and efforts to get things done. And that's what I learned a lot in life is that once you can master leverage and systems, you have all the time in the world,
You just need a longer lever.
Longer lever, bro. And it all comes back down to building relationships, networking, finding the right people, aligning yourself with the right team. And people you can hold accountable too, right? I'm not out there just like, oh yeah, you can have the job. No, of course, I'm being very thoughtful. I'm going through the whole entire experience that they've been through, making sure that they're the right person for the job. So and that takes time. I didn't get the right team overnight. It took years to get to where I'm at.
How important has teamwork been for you?
Super important. Because I mean, without the wins, there is no team, right? You can't, Like I can't sit here and pop bottles and celebrate because I did it. That's credit to my team. It's super, super important. Like that's the thing for me too is you can ask her like I'll buy them lunch or do whatever I need to do to incentivize them to stay productive because productive employees are efficient businesses.
Sure.
Right? And that's the thing because you have to find ways to reward them, but other than that, acknowledge them and let them know that I do appreciate everything you're doing. It's because there's a difference between leaders and bosses. Bosses give orders, leaders elevate others.
Amen.
And I love being a leader, and it's not about creating more followers, it's about creating more leaders. So I see something in them that they can do for other people. So it's finding the right people, man.
You've seen that picture of the wolves going through the snow,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there's a leader up there, and
That's
it's
it.
paving the way for everybody else to follow.
100%.
Well, there's another one. I think the alpha is like all the way in the back somewhere, and it's
Yeah.
just like they could force everybody else to go plow through the snow, and he could just walk the open wave.
for sure.
But a leader truly, and I used to be the boss mentality.
Yes.
I'm your boss.
I've been
right?
there. I've been there.
This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're getting paid to do, right? And of course, to a certain level, we all know what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
It's a transaction, even though it shouldn't feel that way. It is a transaction. That's what an employee is, right? They have to be bringing more than what they're worth, so it's worth it for you to hire them to begin with, right? But I used to have the boss mentality of you should do this by this time and this, and I felt like I never got what I wanted, because I never treated them the way they wanted, right? And I've realized that for the past couple of years, I've realized that when you're actually a team leader, I'm somebody that ends up doing some of the stuff, everything. I can do everything myself if somebody else decides to not do it, right? I'm not too good to mop the floors or email this guy about this lead because I have a sales team doesn't mean I'm not going to reach out to that team, to that client, right? So you're 100% right on that. And for your leadership, what would you say, what defines a leader?
Holding yourself accountable, first of all. When things go wrong, it's about reflection. Like, what am I doing? Where did I miss it? Where did I drop the ball? Because your team is a reflection of you. The moment you do that, that's true leadership, number one. Because everything rises and falls on leadership. So number two is, of course, finding a way to make a change so it doesn't happen again, right? Because for me, if you make a mistake, that's on you. You do it again. It's like, okay, well, now it's like, what are you doing? Do you really care about the business? Do you really care about what's going on? And then, of course, at the end of the day, it's about culture. If you can be a leader that can create culture within your business, whether it's team builders, a trip somewhere, a reward, a contest, something that just gets everybody's, blood boiling and be like, they create that competition. Sure. I love that.
Friendly competition.
Yeah, friendly competition.
You don't want everybody to just jump in.
Sports. No, none of that, right? So yeah, I think that's super important, and I think a lot of that cultivates for me because I used to work in corporate America, so I didn't want to be that when I was a boss, but I took pieces of what they were doing and I incorporated that into my own business. Because there were things when I was in corporate America that I liked. Right? So, of course, you had the reward system. And my reward system was badass. Like, if a customer called in about the bill, and I don't say what company it was, but, if they called about the bill, I'm selling them an accessory. At the end of the day, they're happy. They're giving me a 5-star review and whatever it took. And I became number one in the whole entire call center. Wow. So think about someone that's irate, right? Calling about their bill and saying, what's this $240 charge? Fix it, right? And that's just how it is. That's how the job. But if you can find a way to build rapport with that customer, and at the end sell them phones, sell them accessories, and you're getting 5-star, you just turn the whole situation around. And I did that. So the company ran out of prizes to give me. They're like, yo, Rudy, we give you a drone, we give you $500 credit, towards your bills for the next 6 months. We sent you and your wife on a trip. Like, what else do you want? And then,
I need a 488.
Little do they know. And for me, it was more about and it's crazy because I remember this so vividly. But I was like, you know what? I don't want anything anymore. I want a leadership position, and they gave that to me. So I ended up training a floor of 1,200 employees. And then it got to the point where their numbers went up as a call center that they started flying me all over the country to different call centers. So I went to a place called Greeley, Colorado.
Greeley?
Greeley.
Greeley,
Greeley, Colorado.
If you're from Greeley, Colorado, this is about you.
And there ain't
The
nothing
2,000
out there.
people
yeah,
in
the
this world.
2,000 watching, yeah. So they flew me out to Greeley. Ain't nothing to do out there, but you know, we turned call centers around, and it was more about giving that ultimate customer experience. And that was just one example, right? So the reward system, I'm really big on that. So at the end of the day, when I'm ready to pay the people that work for me, if I recognize that they worked hard.